All right, we made it. Only 2 minutes late, not too bad. I was having a horrible time getting my sound to work, but now we are here. Shout out Mr. Andrew for joining me. I'm here with Andrew Wizardly Reads. Today, I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this, man. You know, I mentioned this when I announced the stream. Was like, it was just hard to line something up with the holidays, and I had that weird travel thing. Like, I had to cancel on you, and then it was like all this
Well,
weird
and then
stuff.
I got sick.
Yeah, then you got sick. That's right.
Which I've still got a little bit of residual, but otherwise I'm fine.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, everybody be getting sick here in December. Hopefully, it kind of chills out now. But
yeah, my whole family went down.
That's rough.
It was rough.
It's bad.
But yeah, while you were having audio issues, I'm just sitting there dancing and singing.
I couldn't hear it. Is so sad. It's so sad. But yeah, a couple quick shouts for people already showing up. I like the Naruto.
I love Naruto is my other favorite manga, except I refuse to watch Boruto. I refuse to read it. It ended with what was it? What was the last movie where Naruto gets married? I'm not going to say to who. What's that movie called? It's got the Otsutsuki.
Yeah, I don't. There's just the Boruto movie that they then made into the first 50 episodes of the anime because they drug it out forever. But
I've heard Boruto's gotten good. I still refuse.
I heard that also. I haven't read the manga. I've heard the manga at least is solid. But
I can't it feels like I don't know. It feels like Naruto and all of his struggles just get shoved to the side for the next generation, and I'm like, I can't. I've already gone on this epic adventure. Yeah. This was my childhood.
My complaint was the one person who would work really hard to be a good dad is a completely absent father.
Yeah.
And I'm this sucks. I
can't do it.
Hopefully there's an arc in there where he learns how to be a good dad, but
I don't know. Anyway. Maybe. Tom can tell us.
Yeah, there we go. Tom can tell us. Will is here. What's up, dude? There is no. These are completely just an absolute mess, dude. So we'll talk about anything.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you said you have a Naruto tattoo?
I do. It's kind of hard to get it on the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you've got the man himself.
Yeah.
All right. That's very cool. That's early Naruto. That's pre-time skip Naruto.
I want to get more, dude. If I had endless money, I would have so many more anime and book tattoos. I got a handful, but
I've got a.
What's up, Tom?
A nature scene right here. And I've got a memorial tattoo to my mom right here, but those are the only tattoos I have.
That's cool. I mean, those are good ones to have, man. You can't beat. I have a memorial for my dog, but that's the only, and for a friend. But memorials are if you're gonna get a tattoo, that's always a safe bet, right? You're not gonna regret that later.
Well, it's funny because I say I've got a memorial tattoo for my mom. My mom was very anti-tattoo.
That's how it goes. So Heidi, Brady, what's up? Yeah, the last, that sounds right for the movie.
The last, yeah, okay. Sounds right.
Ryan.
I don't know. My big mangas and animes growing up were DBZ, obviously.
Yep.
Gundam Wing.
Yes.
One Piece, obviously. I even watched the awful adaptation from 4Kids TV back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Where somebody would get shot with spikes, but they would change it and edit it to suction cup Nerf darts. I remember that. That was
the 4Kids censoring.
Oh, it was awful. And then Naruto and Bleach. Huge Bleach fan. I was a basic dude when it came to anime.
Oh yeah, I get it. That's how I was growing up. It's only been the last handful of years that I branched out into a lot of other random stuff. Bleach. I still got to catch up on Bleach because I hear 1,000 Year Blood War is incredible. So I got to get caught up the rest of the way.
Yeah, the problem is I think I would have to restart Bleach, and it would be my fourth. My favorite arc is the first arc, is Soul Society.
Oh, so good.
It's so good, especially with Zenpachi.
Yeah.
That whole fight, it never got better once Ichigo reached captain status. That was just some of the coolest stuff. That whole arc is my favorite.
Yeah, dude. All of it is. Yeah, it's hard to beat a classic shonen like that, right? Bleach does shonen so well, and it's almost kind of quintessential at this point.
Well, you blew my mind like this last week, when you told me you were only like 3 to 4 years younger than me.
Is that right?
I was not expecting that.
That's funny. Yeah, everyone. It's so funny, man. Like in high school, everybody thought that I was way older than I was.
Yeah.
Like I was
And
a
now
freshman. People thought I was a senior, and now it's the opposite.
you just basically stayed
Yeah,
put.
I am
You're
now
frozen in
timeless.
time.
Yeah, I always wanted to
Ooh,
be a vampire. I
Inuyasha and
finally did it.
Yu Yu Hakusho was
Yep.
lit. Those first, right up until we get to the it's the tournament.
The Dark Tournament was
Dark
peak,
Tournament was
peak
was
shonen
awesome.
tournament. Yeah.
And then it kind of just my memories of it just kind of fade from there on out.
Yeah, the season after that I liked, and then the 4th season I just kind of pretend doesn't exist.
Didn't happen.
Yeah, that's how.
Janny Wirtz is in the chat. Love you, Janny.
Here. Hello, Janny. Thank you so much for being here.
Finally getting ready to start Wars of Light and Shadow.
Dude, I'm so excited. Tomorrow I'm starting it. Like
I've had a rough start to my reading year. I'm kind of bouncing all over the place. So I've just kind of been reading some indies. I'm reading some JCM Byrne right now. His 6th book in the Hyperhelix. I'm reading Demon's Tear by R.E. Sanders. I've been reading some manga, and I finished my first Dean Koontz.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So, that's some variety, man.
Klaas is here. He's hiding as YouTube user.
Yo.
Klaas is one of my patrons.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited to jump in. I finished the Water 7 saga this morning on the One Piece manga.
Water 7.
All the everything in
Water 7 is
the Enies Lobby stuff.
Oh, you're deep in. Okay, I was going to say Water 7 is
something chapters.
Yeah. You're like a good percentage, and I was like, Water 7. Like
I'm committed now. Yeah.
Okay.
From what I've heard, like projections and stuff of how many chapters it might end up being, I think I'm roughly a third of the way done.
As far as I've made it a little into the New World. That's as far as I've made it.
Okay, that's pretty far, right?
Yeah, that's like the 700s to 800s.
Okay, yeah.
And then I had kids, and I can
imagine that'll do it.
Yeah, I got hit with like all of my time was gone, and it's just like I was like, okay, something's got to give, and it was manga, anime, TV shows, video games took a huge hit. I'm just now getting back into video games now that my kids are 3 and 4.
I'm trying to get back into them. It's probably been 10 years since I've like played video games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're all into fitness.
Yeah, I mean that with like grad school.
You're staying healthy.
I'm trying, but I need to also be unhealthy and just sit there and eat snacks and play games. I bought Elden Ring. I made a character. I just haven't actually played anything yet. The character's made though.
You took 10 years off and you were like, yeah, From Software.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That let me know how that goes.
It won't go well. I think I'm considering trying to live stream it just so people can laugh at how horrible I am.
Oh my goodness. I'm an old FromSoft player. I've been playing since Dark Souls 2. But when Dark Souls 2 came out, I went back and I replayed Dark Souls 1. So I played 1, 2, 3. I didn't play Sekiro. And I haven't played there was one in the middle. No, I've played Bloodborne.
Bloodborne was in there somewhere. I tried that one. I didn't get very far.
I love Bloodborne. It's such a good game.
It was sick. Yeah, it was the setting itself was like, okay, that's enough for me.
It's so gothic. It's like cosmic horror. It's awesome. And then I'm only about halfway through Elden Ring. My hot take is I don't like open world games.
Interesting. Okay.
I think when open world was first coined, it was good because like, Skyrim level of open world is like, you can feel like that's been crafted and it's not been procedurally generated type of deal. But we've gotten to the point where the games are so massive that copy and pasting is just happening rampantly. And you'll notice it in Elden Ring. Okay. A lot of the settings and a lot of the dungeons, they're just the same. They've just blocked off routes or it's reused content. And it just feels kind of feels less crafted, like I'm in a world that's like real, and it feels more like I'm in, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as special anymore.
I got you. Well, I want to talk to you more about that, but before we completely leave the manga thing, we do need to get Janny on One Piece. If you try One Piece, okay, The downside is that the first 100 chapters are not incredible. Like
I can't stand Syrup Village. I am like for
yeah,
my reread, I've skipped Syrup Village,
I would too.
but I've experienced it 5 times.
Yeah, especially at that point, you could skip.
Um,
To me, like once you get into like past the first 100 chapters, it's like this is really good. Water 7 blew me away. Like this is incredible now.
it's still entertaining.
Sure, and there's depth,
But
and
it's
there's
more silly. I would say once we get to the Arlong Pirates arc is where we
yeah,
start
that's when
really
it starts
getting
getting
those
good.
emotional hits.
Yeah, that was
And
I
that's
think
volume 9.
yeah, that's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, I think that was the first volume that made me like emotional, and
Yeah.
then I don't think I actually like cried until the end of Arabasta,
Okay.
and then Skypiea didn't make me cry, but I got close, and then Water 7 made me cry like 5 times.
Yeah.
We're gonna see how this continues. Yes, long live Brandon Lee for The Crow. It's a classic.
How do you
R.I.P.
feel about the fact that they remade it? I haven't watched.
I won't watch it.
You won't watch
As
it.
much as I like, it's Bill Skarsgård, right? Like as much as I like him, I'm
Mhm.
just like, I just
Can't
can't.
do it.
I tried to watch one of the other Crow like sequels or whatever that they tried to do, and I'm like, it ain't it, man.
Dennis, what's up? I now have all of his books.
Very nice. I've been hearing very good
They were
things.
my Christmas gifts. I bought book 1 and then I was gifted books 2 through 4. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
locked, loaded, and ready to go.
Those are good gifts. Those are very good gifts. Yeah. My book Christmas gifts were the illustrated Harry Potter. I got the first 3.
Nice. I've reached. It's weird when it comes to Harry Potter with me because. Well, no, like it was my favorite series as a kid. Favorite series. I read the first 4 or 5 books like 7 or 8 times. Like I would just reach that point because I was caught up. I would just restart
for sure,
and I've kind of burned myself out on it. I can reach levels of burnout. That's why I'm limiting how often I reread Wheel of Time and stuff like that. Like I feel like I've only got so many rereads in me left.
I get that.
And I just don't think Harry Potter is for me anymore. Now I may read it to my kids when they're old enough to finally sit still, and let me read it to them. But
yeah,
as an adult, I don't think I could bring myself to read it.
I'm due for a read. It's probably been since like season 3 or 4 of the Game of Thrones TV show, I think was when I went and got those books, which is when I put down Harry Potter finally from just doing my reread cycle.
Yeah.
So it's been that long since I reread it. So I think I'll probably do the illustrated ones. That'd be a fun way to do it.
I still haven't finished Storm of Swords.
Wow.
So it was funny because I watched the show so much. I got to a scene where Tyrion is arguing with Tywin, and I was just like, yeah, okay, like this is the exact scene from the TV show. Yeah. And I just shut the book and I never picked it back up.
I mean, it's fair. It's fair. It's like you got to be kind of, there's only so much time to read, especially for you. It sounds like you got a limited free time these days, right, with kids and stuff.
Well, yeah, I got the 2 kids and I got a full-time job, and it's a bit much. Yeah, that's got to pick my battles.
I get it. That's one of the reasons I don't really want kids, if I'm being honest. I'm selfish with my time, man. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, Dennis, I hear good things about the books, man. I'm gonna have to check them out at some point. I know John's been talking about them, really, really nice words on that. I think Brian Bell was just talking about them recently in a video.
Let's do a quick plug.
Here we go. Let's get them up there.
Do I have these in order? I don't have them in order. There we go.
This is
Rise of the Automated Empire.
Yeah. Automated Empire.
There we go. And then Stolen Dreams.
Very nice. Those are cool covers.
They are. I think they're J. Caleb Designs.
Nice.
Who is a very popular cover artist here on BookTube. At least in the community. I know John Douglas has used them. JCM Byrne has used them. Christopher G. Brenning has used him. Yeah. I've got multiple J. Caleb designs on my shelves.
Nice. That's something I keep noticing. Like you and I know like Chris from the Bearded Book Beast is kind of like this too. Like you guys are really in that indie community like you just know so many people. I'm like, this is amazing. Like I'm still pretty new to it, so it's you guys always like add so much stuff to my list. It's kind of overwhelming, but also great.
I didn't really start out to be the indie guy, and it just kind of happened. It's just like I picked up one indie, and then I picked up another, and I got recommended some, and then I just started interacting with, you know, people would send me emails, which I don't really accept ARCs anymore. And then like I'd meet people on Twitter, back when I was still fairly active on Twitter. Yeah, it just kind of turned into a thing.
Snowballs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you remember
snowballs.
do you remember the first one you picked up?
So that's debatable because it depends on when I first became aware that indie was a thing. So where I worked, my boss was a huge reader, and he would recommend me stuff.
That's cool.
And so I was reading that stuff, not realizing that indie books was a thing. So I read Drew Hayes. Chris, you're my indie idol. So like one of the first series I read that I still recommend is this Superpowered's Year One. This is for like if you like My Hero Academia, this is where it's at. Although I think they're basically similar premises, but this came first.
Okay, cool.
And it's a 4-year college story about basically people going to college to get superhero certifications, but there's deeper lore. There's a class system where you've got your powereds who can't control their powers. You've got normals, and you've got the superpowereds who can control them. And then of the superpowereds, there's then a higher tier who have powers who can become superheroes. And you got to go to college. You got to get certified. And out of every class, only 10 certifications are given every year. And we kind of follow some powereds who then get turned into supers, who are then trying to go through this college program. And there's like stuff with previous generations and what they did. It's fantastic. I love Drew Hayes.
Is it more like lighthearted or more dark?
It starts out very light, and then as the story progresses and more mysteries are unveiled, it gets slightly darker and darker, but it never gets full on grimdark. There is loss. There is heavy hitting moments. Like there is stuff in there that will hit you, but it's not grim dark or gritty or anything like particular.
It kind of sounds like My Hero in that way also. Like it started out very light, has gotten a bit darker here towards the end.
Yeah, well, I've also heard My Hero hasn't been punching 1,000 lately. That's just what I've been hearing through the grapevine.
I heard the ending is amazing.
This punches 1,000.
Okay.
Or bats 1,000. Bats punches? I don't know. But I love superpowered so much. And then I read some urban fantasy stuff that was very like it was just popcorn. I wouldn't recommend it now. It was Shane Silver's Nate Temple series. I read probably 18 of those books before like they were entertaining, but like when I look back on them, I was like, man, those were not very good. That's why the only time I ever really talk about them on the channel is when I'm like being like, yeah, I read these. I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
And then I think it would be Zach Argyle would be the first when I became aware that it was indie.
Yeah. I want to check those out.
They're good.
Yeah, I definitely want to check them out. The special edition that he did is just so beautiful. Like even just looking at the special edition, I was like, I got to read these. Right? Like,
do you have it?
So nice. No, I do not. Unfortunately.
This one?
Yeah, it's gorgeous, man.
It's funny on the omnibus paperback. I'm blurbed on the back.
Nice.
I don't have it though, which bugs me.
That's funny.
And then he's got a new special edition that is the convention only special edition. He just put it out in his newsletter.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where if you meet him in person at a convention, he's got a specific edition that you can only buy off of him physically. Nice. And now I need to meet him so I can have it.
Well, hey man, a bunch of people are trying to go to Worldcon this year. Maybe that's a good time to do it.
I don't know if I can make it to Seattle this year.
Seattle's far away. I don't know how far it is for you. It's
I'm
literally
in Indiana.
Okay, you're halfway closer than I am. I'm like basically Miami. I'm like as far away as you can possibly be in the States.
Fair enough. I'm in me and my wife are going to Denver in March just because we want to. She wants to go to a hockey game, and I've got friends in the area. and the plane tickets alone are just like,
Dude,
ugh.
yeah,
So I
flights are
can
so
only
expensive
imagine
now.
going to Seattle right now, and I don't have, excuse me, I don't have tickets to Worldcon, and on top of like hotel fare and
It adds up
travel
a lot.
expenses, I just don't know if that's in the budget. I'd love to,
Yeah,
but I don't know if I
I
can.
I feel you. That's my only. It's purely a financial thing. If I wind up not making it, right? It's for
Yeah,
those same because it's not just the ticket, right? It's like you're saying, it's everything because you're
yeah,
staying there multiple days, right? And you might split it with a couple people, but it's still a lot, and
yeah,
you gotta get food, and
yep,
uh, so all that kind of, and like you're gonna buy books too, right? So you gotta have
yep.
that in the budget, and
Trust me.
it's,
No,
it's a
it's all
lot.
been calculated. I might go to Gen Con this year. In fact, well, no, I've been told I'm going to Gen Con this year.
Where's that at?
Indiana. It's local to
Oh,
me, so I can drive there.
nice.
It's
I
a
went
huge
to
gaming convention.
nice. That's cool. I grew up in Illinois, so I remember driving over to the Indianapolis Comic Con one year. That was super cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's at the same convention center that Gen Con would be
Oh,
at.
nice. Yeah. I don't that was a long time ago, but I remember it feeling like this is a well organized, like it's pretty nice. I love North Carolina. I would love to come back. What is Con Carolinas? Give me more information, please. That sounds cool.
I don't know if I've been to North Carolina.
I love it. My girlfriend and I went on a road trip vacation up there over the summer. We like went up to Raleigh for a couple days, and then we went over and spent a week in Asheville, and then a couple days in like the Charlotte area for a wedding. We used the wedding as an excuse to like just travel around and whatever. So we were up there for like 10 days or something, and it's beautiful, man. The
Nice.
nature is so nice. A lot of hiking. Um, so nice. Down, dude. South Florida is not it for me, dude. Some people think it's paradise. It is the opposite for me.
That doesn't sound particularly
I don't like it.
fantastic to me. I don't
I
know. It's
don't.
hot. I remember the last time I went to Florida, I got off the plane and immediately just broke out in sweat.
Yep.
And I was just like I messaged Alan from the Library of Alexandria. It's just like, what is going on? He's like, are you wearing shorts? And I was like, no. He's like, go into the bathroom and change.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a must. It's absolutely horrendous in the summer, especially. It's like it storms every day. Also in the
Does
summer,
it?
and the humidity is like 90%. It's 100 degrees. It's just like you're saying. It's like you hit a wall when you go outside.
No, that sounds
Brutal.
awful to me. But
Yeah.
then again, I live in Indiana and it's cold as all get out right now. So
Yeah. I miss it, dude. I visited my
yeah.
parents up in Wisconsin a couple months ago, and it was like snowing a little bit, and I was like, oh, I miss it. It's so nice.
Move.
Well, I got to graduate first.
Okay, fine.
But
Fair enough.
see, Tom says NC is pretty great. Only a little biased. Yep. Well, what are you gonna do? It seems like all the booktubers are going to North Carolina, man. So,
Really? Maybe okay. May 30th to June 1st.
okay, hold on. I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna look into it.
I would love to meet John.
Everybody would love to meet John.
I love John so much. Such a good dude.
He's literally the best. Caro. Yes, I'm gonna be rude and pull out my phone in the middle of my own live stream.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't care.
Bear's here. What's up?
What up?
Stranded from an airport in Lisbon? That doesn't sound very nice.
All right. Well, I hope you get
No way of getting
stranded here soon.
That sounds absolutely horrible. I have a friend who got stranded at the airport the other day. He had to sleep there.
The worst I ever got stranded was oh god, when was this? I think it was, I'm gonna get it wrong. It was like 2014. There was a snowstorm that was so bad my state shut down.
Ugh.
And I had gone on to a weekend trip to Chicago with my wife.
Uh-huh.
And basically, as we got to the train station to come home, they were like, by the way, your train's been delayed because they need to rest. And so we're like, oh, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. So like for like 2 hours. And then it was like, oh, by the way, your train's been canceled. And so then that turned into a 4-day layover trapped in Chicago. And then I got the flu. That was great. It was fantastic. It was a great adventure. Ended up going to a rainforest cafe, and it was so cold that the animatronics had frozen. And so like the music was still playing, and it's just creepy. It's creepy.
Eerie.
All get out. I don't know. That's the word. It was a 4-day, like family was just like, hey, we've booked you a hotel room at a good rate, but you've got to move hotel rooms. And so we had to do that like twice. We had to shift hotels because we were trying to save money because we were stranded and our family was trying to like book us hotels and stuff. And then finally we ended up just staying with a friend in the area until we could get out of there.
Yeah. Oh, that's brutal, man. That's horrible. Traveling it can be great and it can be horrific. I'm with Mr. I Samwise here. It's going to take a lot to. Yeah, Vera's crying. She's struggling. Sorry, Vera. Best of luck.
Hugs.
Sending hugs.
Sending hugs and positive vibes.
Yes. But yeah, I'm it's going to be getting out there to the Sun Eater 7 release is going to be high on my list.
Oh, that's in I think November or December is when Rockio's got that planned for.
He's trying, yeah. We'll see.
Well, he's got a kid on the way, so he's trying to finish writing it, I believe, to get it into the editors within the next month or two.
Yeah, I think so too. So it's looking good. I mean, he's been very dependable with deadlines and stuff.
Yeah. I still need to read Disquiet Gods, but
that's the last thing I have too. Have you read all the short stories and stuff like that too, or just the books?
I have read it's the one with the Catholics.
The Lesser Devil.
I've read Lesser Devil.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I think it was the worst novella though.
Was it?
Like it's great, but like the other two are better, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've started Queen of Mid Ashes, but like I just gotten off of Ashes of Man, and I was just like I'm a little burned out right now. Like I don't have the emotional fortitude to dive into Queen of Mid Ashes, and I just haven't come back to it yet.
Understandable. Yeah, those are. I love that series so much.
It's so good. I would say that Howling Dark and Demon in White are still my favorites. Kingdoms of Death went hard into the darkness, and Ashes of Man just took a lot of time to pull back from that, and then we just dive right back in.
Yeah,
I'm just like, okay, like I've been brutally emotionally tortured.
Yes.
For the last 2 weeks, I need to take a break.
Yeah, I'm like, give me more. No, I love that he's not shying away from it, right? Like it's like he pulled away just enough to let you think it's okay, and then go back in. Mm-hmm. Very nice. That's true. He does warn us with the titles.
That's true.
Yeah, but
I need to get Drakes of Empire. I want to get the Andorita editions. Supposedly they're going to do a third printing. Sometime in the next year or two.
Yeah,
I'll probably pick them up then.
Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to really chill out on special edition stuff. Like, I spent more money on it than I should have.
They're readable editions. Like you can actually hold these things and don't feel like you're about to destroy. My short today was about just read your special editions. So I'm currently reading.
I agree.
I'm currently reading this. This is The Keep by F. Paul Wilson. And it's leather bound. It's got a sewn spine binding / whatever you want to call it. Like it's signed, it's numbered. So these are special editions, and I am physically reading it.
Yeah, this like I got the Words of Radiance leather bound was the first special edition I ever bought. And I was like, I might as well get the Way of Kings one also, right?
Yep.
Because what I know about, like for me, if I have something, I need the whole set. So I've convinced myself I can get the Stormlight ones. I don't have to buy the Mistborn and the Warbreaker and all that. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, I was wavering because you see so much stuff on either side. Some people are like, never touch these because you'll ruin the gold leaf or whatever. And then I'm just like, dude, like I'm gonna read them.
Yeah,
it's a book, right? And like all the art is like the whole reason why I got it. I want to see the art and everything while I'm reading.
Yep. No, absolutely, 100% agree.
And I feel like as long as you're somewhat careful, like like what's the worst,
Don't have sweaty, nasty hands when you're handling a special edition.
Yeah, just kind of be careful.
Yeah, be careful.
That's kind of what I like to do anyway, especially with like a hardcover. Is I'll sit in a nice, comfy chair, put a pillow on my lap, open the hardcover in front of me, and that way I'm not holding it the whole time, right? I'm just turning the page, whatever.
Just turning the pages.
Cozy.
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
What are you currently reading?
I'm in a transition right now. Like I said, I finished the yes, agreed. Something criminal about not reading something. So I just finished that part of One Piece this morning.
Okay.
And then yeah, man, people are on board. I love this. And then I'm starting Curse of the Mistwraith tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I'm so excited. The only Janny's in the chat. Maybe okay, so maybe this is a good time to ask, or anyone else who's read these books. Is I give myself like, I don't know, 60 to 90 minutes to read, right? So because books like Malazan or like the Wars of Light and Shadow books with longer chapters, where I really want to take my time, really absorb it, that kind of stuff, right? I'll probably take some notes. And so what I'm wondering is, are multiple chapters in one sitting probably going to be a little too much to where I should maybe have something lighter that I can read also? Or should I just dive in feet first? Let me know, chat, please.
Yeah, that's a question for the chat. Because I read all day. All day. Except lately I've been kind of taking my foot off the gas a little bit, especially this year. I'm only doing like 3 to 4 hours a day versus like the 8 or 9 I've usually done.
Wow. How much of that was audio?
I work from home, so I can listen to audio pretty much all day unless I need to use critical thinking, in which case then I have to pause because I'm not focusing on the story. I'm focusing on the task at hand.
Yeah.
So I mean, audio, I can probably get 6 hours of audio a day. Easy.
That's amazing, man. I'm kind of jealous. Like I just my brain wanders. Either that or the other task that I'm trying to do at the same time is just too demanding and I can't do both.
It's weird. So initially, like I wasn't interested in audiobooks. And then I started listening to Big Finish Productions. Big Finish Productions is a company out of the UK. I don't know if you know about them. Who do classic Doctor Who audio dramas with the original actors. So basically, even though these actors have gone and regenerated and they're no longer on screen, you can get new adventures from them that fill in gaps and stuff like that. And it may not be 100% canon, but there have been instances where the show has made stuff that happened canon. So like when the 8th Doctor regenerated in that little short that came out around the 50th anniversary, a lot of the people that he's saying before he regenerates were companions from Big Finish audio productions. So he says their names, making them canon.
Interesting.
So okay. I listened to, I mean, there's hundreds, possibly thousands of productions. They've been going at it since I think 1995. Okay. 1995? No, they just recently hit, they did 20 years like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Is my math good? Yeah, 1995.
Somewhere in there.
Ish, or 96.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Mid-late 90s.
Yeah, so they've got the original actors for the 4th Doctor, the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th have all been there. And then they've then since gotten David Tennant to do stuff. River Song has her own set of adventures there. The Paternoster gang from the 11th Doctor's run, they all have content there. Once they leave the main show, they can be used with Big Finish.
Interesting. That's so, Doctor Who's like one of those things that I never saw as a kid. And then I just, like, everything I see about it now, I'm like, I would really dig this. I just need to find the time to go watch it.
I love Doctor Who.
It's like Star Trek's the same way. Like, I feel like I would really like it, or at least some of the shows or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because I hear it's pretty hit and miss with even really big fans. But I'm just like, it's so
a lot of the modern stuff lately has been hit and miss across all genres. I would say Doctor Who had its last great season, probably with the 11th Doctor. And we're now on, let's see. So it went Peter Capaldi, who I liked. I just didn't love him. He had a companion that overstayed their welcome, and they kind of took over the show for a little bit, and he took a back seat. And then the follow-up companions weren't really all that good. But he had some bright moments. And then Jodie just had terrible writing. They brought back David Tennant to be an interim doctor, which that was mostly amazing and had some rocky moments. And Ncudi's been okay.
That's the latest one?
Yeah, Ncuti Gatwa. He's been okay. But it feels like it hasn't fully caught its stride. So, I don't know. If anything, I still really love the classics, but you've got to be in the mood for, like, wonky special effects. Like,
oh, I'm sure.
This show has been going since 1963. So at some
amazing.
point, there was a monster that was just bubble wrap spray painted green. Like, you have to be up for something like that. The sets did wobble a little bit. There's a whole joke about it. It's a thing, but I love it. I love it so much.
That's cool. So I'm trying to. So Janie says format goes by chapter sets: 1 long segment, 2 shorter, and 3 one-liners. And I'm trying to understand exactly what that means.
Oh, I have no idea.
That's so interesting. I'm like, of course, there's like a way that the chapters work, also, right? Like,
have you read? What of Janie's have you read so far?
oh, interesting. Oh, I see. Okay, I understand. This makes sense. Thank you, Janie. I get it now. So I read The Gallant, the prequel novella.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Like it's unbelievable. And then it's I still don't understand how she fits so much stuff into like 100-page novella. It's crazy. And then yes, there you go. That does make sense.
Okay.
I see. Thank you. And then I also read To Ride Hell's Chasm in end of November, and that was unbelievable. Also, I'm trying to think of another word that's like what's the next level up of a word, and it's Janie would know the perfect word. I'm sure. I really want to. Yeah.
These are very good.
Yeah.
And then even better than that, like this is what like for somebody who would like entry level Janie Works, I would say here.
Okay. That's
And
good to
then
know.
if you want like really just great characters and like political aspects and stuff like that, it doesn't really get better than this. Oh, wrong one. They're right next to each other. There we go. Daughter of the Empire.
Are these the one with Feist?
With Feist.
Yeah. Do you need to read other Rift War stuff to understand what's going on in there? Or can you just grab those?
No, you don't need to. There are some like Easter eggs that like are dropped into there. Because basically what Rift War is you've got a war that's basically separated by an interdimensional rift. And so Rift War takes place on one side and then Empire takes place on the other side. And there is some crossover, but at the same time, you could read just the Kellerman stuff and then go back and read the stuff on Midkemia, which is Rift War.
Okay.
Cool. But I mean, that one is probably Daughter of the Empire is one of my favorite books of all time.
Oh wow, yeah,
Mara is one of the. She's so good. She's so good. One of the best characters.
Mara forever.
Yeah, Mara's amazing.
Yeah, John, definitely buy it. Don't get it off. You can't get it on Amazon anyway. Don't do that. Support the author, bro. Go buy it off of her website. It's still very cheap. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. But yeah, the Rift Force stuff I want to check out anyway. That's like I don't know why I have like this thing where I really want to check out these like older big epic series.
I've got 2 special editions of Magician.
Is this the
This is the first Rift War.
Yeah, it's the first book. Yeah, I gotta, because they don't look super crazy long.
No, they're not. So, they're really reasonable.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely gotta check them out, man. It's so hard to find the time for all this stuff, dude.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Like I say it all the time. I hate being an adult. I wish I could just chill, and gone are the days when I can just. I remember being a kid, and I would just like wrap myself in a blanket and sit there literally all day with a book.
Yep.
It was so nice.
I would lay in bed, and I would like lay on my hand, and my hand would fall asleep.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I would be there for hours.
Those are the days.
Yeah.
Those are the days. No responsibilities. Maybe get up and play RuneScape or something when you need a break, and then go back.
Oh, good old RuneScape. RuneScape Classic is what it's called now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I did that for a while, and then I did go the RuneScape 3 route once they came out with that. I will be honest.
I haven't played RuneScape since...
It's been a long time since I played it now, too. But...
I don't know. God, I don't know. It's been a long time.
Yeah. My brother and I both started playing. I think we were in 6th grade at the time when we started, so that's what, like 2006 or something. And like he still plays it. I'm
Does
like,
he?
wow. He's like
Die Hard.
maxed out how much XP you can get in some skills and stuff like that. So yeah, Iron Man stuff. He does that too. It's crazy. I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't go for MMOs all that often, but I did play RuneScape.
Yeah, it was a good time. I tried WoW once and I was overwhelmed immediately, and I was like, I can't do this. It's too much.
Yeah, I tried WoW, but I didn't get into it.
Yeah, my girlfriend used to play. She was like the WoW person in high school. That was like what she was known for. It's pretty funny. Anyway, so you asked me, what are you reading right now?
Me? Did I? I thought I told you.
Did you?
I don't know. The Keep. I'm reading this.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You did mention that.
And then I'm reading. Oh, I gotta go get it. I'm reading this. This is my indie read. One of my 2 indie reads.
Nice.
This is a Norse so far. I just got to part 2. So I am how many pages into this? Because I've been reading my e-arc. Because I'm so good at getting to things on time.
I can only imagine, dude. I struggle with it, and your channel's like 10 times the size of mine.
No, I'm not 10 times.
No, you're not. I'm
3
exaggerating.
times. You're almost at 2K. I'm not even at 8.
I guess.
I'm 91 pages into this book, so
that's cool.
And yeah, that's about it. That's all I'm reading. Okay, cool. I finished Phantoms. Phantoms was really good, but I don't know. It started out better, and by the time I got done with it, I was just I was ready for it to be done.
Okay, fair. So. That's fair. So I feel like I need to, since I have you on here, we need to talk about DNFs, right?
Yeah,
because you're a little infamous.
I have a reputation. Yeah,
you do indeed.
I might even have a crown.
I think I've DNF'd like 2 books in my entire life.
Oh,
yeah, which is probably not good. That means I've suffered through some that I probably should have put down. But.
2. Yeah. I've already DNF'd 2 this year. I mean,
as in the last 5 days.
We'll say at NFendum, I've not for now'd them.
Sure.
Song of the Beast, by Carol Berg, which I will say that is an NFN. That's just a not right now. The reason I can't do Song of the Beast right now is it's got a specific cadence, like the way that the prose flows, and my brain was just struggling to fall into that cadence. Sure. So I wasn't getting the full punch, but the writing's amazing. So that's gone back on the shelf. I'll read that when I'm in the right headspace for it. And then one of the ones that it may be a DNF, I'm on the fence right now, is The Lost War by Justin Lee Anderson.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, Janie is correct. Carol Berg is brilliant. It's great writing. It's just I can't get my brain to fall into the cadence of the prose. And so that way, I just feel like I'm biting the book, and that never leads to a good reading experience. Mm-hmm. Lost War by Justin Lee Anderson. Let me grab it real quick. Ooh. So this one right here. This was SPFBO 6 winner, and it got picked up and traditionally published. So this used to be an indie book, and I don't know. I don't like the way the POVs flow. I don't particularly enjoy the magic system. It just feels kind of basic. And I would say that this is something I would recommend to somebody who's like just getting into fantasy, right along with like Mistborn or something like that. Sure. But I'm not saying I'm too advanced to read it. It's just not working for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And I've restarted it once. Like I read the first 80 pages twice, once physically and the other on audio. And it just either way, I couldn't get it.
Doesn't hit you.
To sit well with me. It started out really good, but I don't know. So this was based off of a D&D campaign. So this I'm actually might sell this to you. Get you to pick it up. This is based off of a D&D campaign that Justin Lee Anderson was a part of. Mm-hmm. And he even like when he does the dedication page, it's to those players. So
that's cool.
For Sean, Kirsten, Juliet, Craig, Nief, and Jan. So that's his D&D campaign group.
Nice.
So this is a basically novelized D&D campaign, and it kind of feels like it. Like, no, Shad, I fully understand why people like it. I'm just struggling to get into it. I've been told that there's a twist at the end. I can kind of guess the twist.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. Sometimes it's wrong place, wrong time kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I think the only times I DNF'd the road, which is maybe more of like you're saying, just not right now kind of deal. Like I can tell it's great. Everyone, no one was like mad, but everyone was like, really? The road? You didn't read it?
Cormac McCarthy is allergic to punctuation, so I can kind of understand.
It was a little, it was just kind of, I don't know. I was like, I can tell that this is great. It's just not, I'm having a hard time getting into it.
He's also got an obsession with phalluses.
Okay, interesting.
So
I didn't get that part at least, but.
Well, I mean, he does that a little bit in Blood Meridian. So, and then there's been a whole controversy that's come out about the author recently since he's passed. And
okay,
I'm not going to get into it here on screen. Sure.
But I'm not even aware. Yeah.
Yeah, you can look into it on your own time.
Sure.
Yeah, Samwise is kind of alluding to it.
Interesting. Okay. But it was that one, and then was it the 5th maybe Witcher book, Baptism of Fire? I got like halfway through, and I was like, I just don't know if this series is for me, man.
It's awful. That's part of the reason my channel exists is because I was in Nico's Discord and I was unleashing on the Witcher books. I played the video games first. Mm-hmm. And then so I had an expectation that we were going to be hunting monsters, and that's just not what the Witcher books.
Yeah, it's not the story, right?
At all. One of the books is them literally walking in a straight line.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Another one is Geralt goes to a party where everybody's horny.
Yep. I thought that was fun. I like that part I enjoyed.
The party was
interesting.
Fun. I didn't enjoy the horny aspects just because it felt like he'd walk in and it's like, oh, she's wearing nothing. And it's just like, oh, great. Like, why? Right. And then I just couldn't stand Ciri or Yennefer. I couldn't stand those characters.
Yeah.
Because Yennefer's super mean to Ciri. And Ciri's insufferable. And it's just, I don't know. She is. So she's a brat.
I don't remember being that negative on it. I just remember being like, I like the characters, I like what's happening, but just like the style of the presentation was just not working for me.
I don't know. I struggled with the characterization. The first 2 short story collections I really enjoyed, and I liked Blood of Elves, and then it was just downhill from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's Vera says that yeah, Vera's already upset enough. She's gonna see this and cry even more. She says that the translation is like really did it a massive disservice.
Okay, and I am willing to accept that.
Yeah,
I'm 100%. I can only speak to the American translation.
Yeah, right.
That's all I can speak to.
Yeah.
And Ryan, I do plan on playing Witcher 4, mainly because I don't care that they've made Ciri a Witcher. I'm assuming that they're going to explain that lore-wise.
Was that not an obvious thing? Are people surprised by that?
Well, there's a whole thing, like, I don't know how deep into the lore you are, but apparently, like, the Trial of Grasses is, like, lost. So, like, the herbs and everything that transforms kids into Witchers, like, that's gone. Okay. So, how could Ciri have become a Witcher when the mutagens are gone?
I see.
So, like, from what I remember, turning people into Witchers is a lost art.
Okay.
And so, for her to be a Witcher, they have to explain it. And also, from what I recall, women were not supposed to be able to be turned into Witchers, if I'm recalling that.
Well, this sounds like a really interesting premise, though.
Like, it does.
Great. Yeah.
I'm willing to play the game.
Yeah.
So I'll play it if they explain these things. Like, I'm fully on board with that. I don't care the fact that, like, it's not in the books. The games take place after the books anyway, so stop that. Didn't they do that with I never made it past season 2. I got like 3 episodes into season 2, Samwise, so I don't know.
I don't remember if that's in the show or not. I mean they're clearly like,
and the show differentiates.
to do
The
it. Right?
game,
Like,
the show, and the books all have their own lore. They all
yeah,
do different things. So you've got to look at them all as their own IP almost.
yeah. I do want to play. Witcher 3 is obviously the one everyone talks about, right? I do want to. It's on my list to get to. Just to circle back to this really quick, it's not that it was simplistic. It's just that, like, I don't know. It wasn't a super enjoyable reading experience as a whole, I guess. I don't know. It just felt weird. I don't know. Um, Paul wasn't supposed to drink the spice. Yeah, I mean, to me, like, I'm like, it's an interesting premise, right? Of like, this person's not supposed to be able to be this. How did that
Oh yeah,
happen? That sounds cool. But like you're saying, as long as they have a good explanation for it,
yeah. Just
that's the key
explain it.
piece.
It
Yeah,
literally it could be a flashback video explaining the lore
yeah,
or finding lost anything. I don't care. Just
yeah.
make it make sense.
Is
That's all I really
she?
care about.
If this is spoiler territory, I don't know if this is spoiler or not. So if it is, shut it down. But like, I guess I'm wondering, is she a legit Witcher or is she just like a monster hunter? Like, is she a human who's trying to do this role? Because that's interesting.
Well, so in the trailer that they released, she drinks some mutagen. She drinks a
Okay.
potion, which is
Okay.
a Witcher thing, and those are supposed to be, if I recall correctly, poisonous to normal humans. You have to be a Witcher to drink these things, otherwise they
Got
will
it.
kill you.
Got it.
And so, yes, she is a Witcher, in the trailer at least. So I don't know, but like when it comes to adaptations, like make it make sense. Like Wheel of Time did a horrible, horrible job with the TV show.
I still haven't. I got sort of like what you're saying, a couple episodes into season 2, and then I just, as much I have the Wheel of Time tattooed on my leg. Like, I love Wheel of Time.
Yeah,
I don't know. I keep just not
I've got
into the show.
all the hardcovers right there.
I want the hardcovers really bad. I have the mass markets, which I think I actually really like those, but hardcovers are.
Well, my thing with the TV show is they broke the TV show within 10 seconds. They broke it within 10 seconds. It was wrong. You didn't even take the time to do the research, because when they said, oh, the dragon will be reborn as either a male or a woman, and we're scared.
Right.
If you know the lore, if the
Right.
dragon is reborn as a woman, why would you be scared?
Right.
It
changed some
wouldn't
very
be a
key
problem.
things.
It would
Yeah.
be fantastic for you.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know.
Yeah, it felt like they were trying to make more tension of like, well, who's the dragon, and there's more options, but like you still have 3 options or whatever,
Yeah.
right? When you first
There was
kick
still
off the
3
show,
options.
like there's still the tension there. I don't, and it also is kind of like we all know who it's going to be anyway, because
Yeah.
fantasy tropes, right? So like, I don't know. It just
It
seemed
was
kind of
dumb. And I mean, I was mad instantly. So that's not even as bad as ignoring source material and doing your own thing. It's quite literally just not understanding how the magic system works.
yeah. It's a very, you could argue, one of the most fundamental parts of the magic system.
Well, yeah, the magic
like,
system is the women go to become Aes Sedais or Wilders or whatever,
Mhm.
or the men go mad.
Yeah.
And that's why you would be scared of the dragon being reborn.
Yeah, which is like such an incredibly key plot point throughout everything.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's fundamental. And
yeah,
to ignore that, I tuned out. I never finished season 1. I made it 3 or 4 episodes. Like, I think I
tried
made it
so hard to
past the
like it.
introduction of Tom, who isn't even a part of the main story.
Right.
Tom is a throwaway character. And I was just like, excuse me? He's a fundamental father figure.
Yeah, he's important. He's
I
pretty
don't know.
important. I don't know. Yeah, I tried so hard to like the first season, and
I couldn't.
the season finale was really bad. And then I
I'll never
tried
know.
season 2. Yeah, it's
Like, I hear the people who say, like, you should just be happy that there's an adaptation. No, I'd rather it hadn't been adapted at all.
I don't know where I fall on that.
I'd rather you just not.
Yeah, I don't know where I fall on it.
If you can't do something with it and make it, like, I don't care if people make changes. Like, obviously, between mediums, changes have to be made.
Of course.
I understand that. But, like, understand your source material first.
Yeah. 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 Like, thing with Moraine too.
You mean by book 5?
There's you know, there's some weird stuff.
Yeah,
But it's
like
like there are people who genuinely enjoy the show, and so like sometimes I'm like, well, like they can enjoy it. That's cool. So so at least something exists that they like. Like my girlfriend liked the first season, and
okay.
then bounced off season 2 and whatever. So, but like she doesn't know the story at all. That was the only thing she'd ever seen.
Yeah, I
So
don't know.
it's
It
tough.
just doesn't work for me. Wheel of Time is something I've been reading since I was 11. So
Oh,
that's
that's cool.
23 years now.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
read I've read Eye of the World 9 or 10 times.
wow. Good for you.
It's one of my all-time favorite books.
That's cool. Yeah. I've only read the whole thing once. I read all all 15 just straight through.
Oh,
No breaks, no nothing. And it was fun. Yeah. I definitely want to reread it at some point. It's just like it's a lot.
yeah.
Um, yeah, you know what? I remember being in what was I in like 7th grade or something maybe when that Aragon movie came out, and I remember I loved it at the
I
time.
love that movie. I saw it
Yeah.
in theaters twice.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater and then I owned the DVD. Um I think I saw it before I read the book. If I remember
I
right.
don't remember
Either
which
I was
came
halfway
first.
through the book maybe. Yeah, that's what it was. I was halfway through the book because like there's a big thing that happens halfway through the book. Um that I won't spoil, but like there's a key character thing
Yeah.
that then I saw the movie right before I got to that point in the book, and it kind of ruined the book for me a little bit, but that's okay. It was okay.
I never I read Aragon. I think I read book 2. I don't know if I finished book 3.
Yeah. I liked him a lot. I actually don't remember book 4 very well at all. I remember the first 3 a lot better. The first 2 I remember quite well. Book 3 I'm kind of hazy. Book 4 is like almost completely gone from my brain. So I don't know. Dennis, how dare you leave for this random?
Who is this John
Who is this
individual?
guy? How dare you, sir?
How dare.
That's okay. I would leave too.
Are you gonna leave our own discussion to go watch?
I'm about to end the stream so we can go watch John's thing. How funny would that? Oh, sorry, we gotta stop. And then
Oh,
we're both
no.
in the chat. That'd be so funny.
That would be funny. Have you read Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn yet?
No, not yet. I'm getting the Broken Binding books. So they're on my shelf. It's on my list. It definitely is going to happen sometime this year.
That
I'm
is
determined to do
one
that.
that is another series that I'm like very just I've read it twice.
Mhm.
And it's the last series I got to buddy read with my uncle before he passed. So
Okay.
I've actually been collecting the Grim Oak press editions of those.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I'm very excited because I've backed at the steep price the Tigrean Angel Tower set, which I probably won't get for a year.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think the art is better on the Broken Binding editions.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't have a Broken Binding subscription, so I
I'm glad
had
that
a
I did
Broken
it.
Binding subscription, but I don't anymore.
Oh, okay. I'm glad that I did it. It's like it's pricey to get them shipped to the States, but I'm also like you can resell the ones you don't want to keep. So like, it's not a huge deal. But yeah, the all especially it feels like they just have Jeff Brown like doing almost everything for them right now, and it's hard to beat his art, man.
Yeah.
But
They started out with a lot of Felix Ortiz.
yeah, which his stuff's amazing also, right? I mean, everyone, all the Peng Lu stuff that they're doing, like there's a lot of great artists that work for them.
Oh yeah. No, the artists, like the book cover artists, like market is thriving right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a lot of people are finally getting the recognition they deserve.
Yeah, I think it's like the indie stuff exploding and special edition stuff exploding, crowdfunding, all of that. Like it's been awesome for all the art. They're doing the Aragon books too, which I'm stoked for.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're doing it sometime this year, I think. That'll be cool. I'll grab those.
Samwise, to get into Indiana, it's about $60 a book with shipping.
Really? That's a little bit more than me. I think mine ends up being like just under 50.
I don't know. Maybe you have a port near you where
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
they don't really have to travel all that far from the port.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Yeah. No, I was paying $60 a month when I was on it.
Yeah. I think mine's like it's 48 something, I think.
With shipping?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Maybe they've decreased in price. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's what is it, like 25 pounds or something like that.
25 pounds is about $50.
Yeah. Anyway, it's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in there. But I think I mean it's you get a lot for that price. Like it's a very, very good quality. The art's incredible. And like they have a Facebook group that they are very aware. It's not shady at all, right? Like they are very aware of this Facebook group that you can buy and sell different stuff. And so it's nice. That kind of makes
Yeah.
me feel better about, or like you can skip a set if you don't want to get that set or whatever. And
Yeah.
this is actually a great question. Is this all tax deductible? I gotta get my taxes done here before long, and I gotta figure out what all I can deduct.
Well, okay. So that gets kind of sticky.
Yep.
It really depends. I've never deducted anything, I think, other than maybe a laptop or something where like it was for this. But like if you don't have like a specific like LLC or anything set up
Right.
to run tax deductions through, like if you're just doing booktube to do booktube, I wouldn't recommend trying to do tax deductions. Because it can get out of hand real quick.
Fair. Yeah, that's something that's a bridge for me to cross at some point, right?
Yeah.
All of that stuff that like I talked to Brian a little bit about it because obviously he's very business minded and thinks about that stuff a lot, and that's all stuff for me to figure out as we get deeper.
Yeah, so basically you have to be able to justify income, because you can only take a loss for so long before you can't deduct anything anymore. Like you can only write off for so long before they're going to be like, hey, like this isn't a business, you're just trying to do your hobby. And then there's just different tax implications. I haven't dug deep into it, but basically when I brought up the idea of doing it, my mother-in-law, who works for H&R Block or worked for H&R
cool.
Block, straight up just looked at me and went, no. She was just like,
Very fair. Yeah, I feel like it's, like you said, like a laptop, something that is very clearly, like that's different from the thing you're going to hold up for a second and talk about.
Yeah,
it feels a little bit different, but who knows? Okay, we do need to acknowledge this. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have to.
We don't have to acknowledge it, but I mean, I have it on pause. I've actually got a video idea that came to me last night that I'm gonna record probably next. I just need to do some bulletin points to make sure I hit certain points. But it's about legendary authors getting too big to their detriment.
That sounds very interesting.
And I've got 3 authors that I would talk about in that. One would be Brandon Sanderson. The other 2 would be Robin Hobb and Stephen King. Just for specific, they're all for different things, but they all kind of leads to, I view books as a product, and product quality is important. Like not only the characterization, the story, and all of that. Like quality products are very, very important. Like if you're going to use your name to make money, like Brandon Sanderson or an author or something like that, you need to make sure that you are delivering as high a quality product as you possibly can. That should always be the number one goal. Aslan, the reason I'm not saying Gurm is because I haven't read enough Gurm to, like, of the authors that I mentioned, I've read at least 16 books from each of them. So I feel like I can talk about the quality, but there are arguments that, Stephen King's always been sporadic, but Stephen King is Stephen King. People won't tell Stephen King no.
Sure.
Sanderson has gotten to be the name in. I mean, I can really talk to Robin Hobb because I am a firm believer that the first 9 books are the best, and there's a drastic drop in quality. Essentially, what Robin Hobb will do, and I'll just give you a peek insight to my insights. Robin Hobb is a character writer first and foremost. When she writes characters, it's fantastic. The first book of Tawny Man, you can sit with Fitz for 250 pages while he tends his farm, and you're having a great time. Robin Hobb suffers when she can't make something happen. She flips a switch from character writer to plot. And then once the thing has happened, she'll do an emotional thing on the page to kind of try and divert attention to what's happening. And then she'll flip it back to character writing. And she'll do this She does this the most in the last 7 books. And
Okay.
it's particularly bad in the last trilogy. Like, there's plot-based moments that don't feel like they belong in a character-written fantasy.
Interesting. Okay.
And I feel like Robin Hobb is a better writer than that. And the will to produce, somebody should have said no. Somebody should have been like, hey, you're Robin Hobb, you're going to print money anyway. And Sanderson's gotten to that point as well, where he doesn't have enough people who are like, hey, did we need every one of these 1,300 pages? What happens if we trim 200 pages? Does it make the story tighter? Does it improve the product? And I feel like Sanderson's gotten there.
I mean, I think that's a fair critique, right? Like, I can't speak to Hobb or King because I haven't read anything by either one yet.
The first 9 of the Rumble the Elderling books are fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so I've been thinking about this a lot with Wind and Truth, right? You know, because I think about people talking about cutting the length, and I think for a while I didn't get it in the sense that, like, I think part of, at least for me and for others who, like, the ending felt so amazing,
Mhm.
was that the long build up and everything that's happening is like part of the journey, and then the
Right.
payoff feels even more worth it. But then, you know, when you think about, not so much, it's not that people are saying cut out, you know, complete plot threads and things. Some people will say
No.
that, but for the most part, it's
Heighten it.
just make the prose more concise, right? That's,
Yes.
if anyone hasn't seen Zamar Amer's
Yep.
video where he did like an example, brilliant video. I thought it was fantastic.
And he was able to cut out almost a third of the words in just a
Yeah.
single page.
Right. So like stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, okay, that, like, totally get it. You know, I noticed, you know, some of the real world language stuff, or some of the, you might use the same verb twice or three times in the same paragraph, or that's like not on purpose, right? Like, you can do that on purpose and it's cool, but when it's not
And
on purpose, it's weird.
and somebody should be like, "Hey, Brandon, that's not particularly funny."
Yeah, like I mean, you know,
But
his sense of humor is a
there's a
sense of
whole
humor, but
conversation about the word shit,
right.
and it's like 3 pages, and
Yeah.
none of it's funny.
Yeah. Which, I mean, some people I'm sure will think that it's funny, right? But um I don't know. Some some of the some of the humor I think works for me really well. A lot of
Mhm.
it just doesn't, and I've just accepted that about Sanderson. Like, his humor is just not for me.
But he
Um,
doesn't in his earlier books, he didn't really pursue the humor. It wasn't until he did Edge Dancer that the humor really started trying to punch through, and
Liv's
he kind of
humor is, yeah.
embraced this thing
Mhm.
when nobody's asking for it.
Yeah,
No, I have not heard anybody go, "Oh, man, I wish there was more Lift in this book."
right. I think
I've heard people say Lift is entertaining.
sure. She's grown on me. I think the Wind and Truth, where we're leaving Lift in the, you know, towards the end of this first arc, I'm very optimistic about.
I haven't finished the book. Again, I'm on
Yeah,
pause at
that's
the
all
end
I'll
of page
say.
4.
Yeah.
Oh, the book's been spoiled for me.
Oh, has it? That's well, I don't know how much you
Pe
dislike
pe
that, but
people in the comments have just been like, "I didn't like this, and I didn't like this,
dude,
and I
people
read my
are,
comments, so unfortunately, many of the plot points have
yeah.
been like, a lot of the critiques of, like, a certain relationship don't particularly bother me.
Mhm.
I'm like, "Fine." I don't know how that's executed, but the relationship itself doesn't bother me.
Right.
It just depends on, was it executed well?
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't really heard any of the critiques other than people are just mad that it's there.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous to me, but, you know, whatever. But
The only thing I care about with relationships is it executed well? Does it feel natural? Does it
yeah.
feel forced? Did this come out of nowhere? That that's what I care about.
Yeah. I thought it was great for what it's worth, you
Fair
know.
enough.
But yeah, I've been fortunate. I haven't seen spoilery stuff in my comment sections yet, which I'm very, like, I am so spoiler sensitive that, like, I will delete it immediately, right? So no one else sees it, if that ever happens. But, like, that's, even, you know, like, when I talked to Christopher Rocchio on here, I was so scared that someone was going to spoil Disquiet Gods for me or something, right? I
Yeah,
was so scared, because, like, I can't control the live chat here, right? It is what it is.
yeah,
But I'm hoping that people continue to be nice and not spoil anything.
yeah.
It's just such a bummer, man. But
I don't know. I also like. I've never been a Shalon fan.
I loved her since day one.
I I find the Ghost Blood, like, at least in the first 4 days, there's a Ghost Blood story thread that just feels clunky. Like, it feels like, of course, the Ghost Bloods are going to get one up on Shallan and things are going to go right, despite the fact that you're forewarned. And I just didn't particularly like that. Like, be smarter. Like,
yeah, I mean, she's not that smart.
I don't know, but she's supposed to be. It just, I don't know. It bugs me that, like,
a lot of people don't like Shallan. Just, yeah, to be very fair.
Well, it's not so much. It's just like, use some common sense. Like,
Sure.
I feel like my character should have grown enough throughout these 4 or 5 books that, like, you've got personalities that are actually spies, and then, like, oh, I'm forewarned. I know this is happening. Where are they? And you're looking for them, and they still get the drop on you. I didn't particularly love that. That just the whole Ghostblood storyline, I'm kind of tired of.
Really, I love it, man. I think it's cool.
Well, we're shown that they're not particularly gifted at what they do. Like, Shallan's able to get the drop on them, so why haven't they been dealt with at this point? I don't know. It just
Sure.
that stuff just kind of bothers me a little bit.
That's totally fair. I will be the first to admit, I usually, like, it takes me a while to, like, retroactively think through how much I believe certain storylines or whatever,
dude.
right?
I'm autistic as crap.
I'm just along for the ride for so long, right? And then in retrospect, I can be like, oh wait, you know.
No, stuff that bothers me in the moment, I'm bothered immediately. Which is why I DNF so much.
Yeah.
I can't look past, if I see something that I find particularly clunky, I'm hyper focused on it. I've noticed it. It's there on the page now, and I can't let it go.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing by any means.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something I've always struggled with.
No, so, it is what it is. I mean, it makes you good at picking those things out, right? Which is, I think, is a really valuable thing as somebody, especially if you're, like, doing book reviews and things like that. I think that's very valuable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've never looked at it that way, but I just immediately go, no, that bugs the crap out of me. I don't like that. And I'm also not a particular fan of Therapist Kaladin. It just, I don't know.
I have a theory that I won't say here because obviously it's chock full of spoilers, but I am trying to organize a big spoiler talk. Okay. So when that happens, I'll talk about it there. I have a theory that I'm excited about personally, but we shall see.
Okay. We shall see. Well, we won't know for 9 years, will we?
Well, if it's what I'm thinking, I could see that being a Stormlight 10 thing that happens. So.
Oh, okay. So we won't know for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fair enough.
But think about the payoff at the end.
Jeez.
Okay. What? Here's maybe get us off of the Win and Truth thing for a second. A couple of your favorite series.
Couple?
What do you think?
Oh my gosh! I mean, I've got Wheel of Time is an easy answer.
Good answer.
Faithful and the Fallen, To Green Angel Tower, not To Green Memory, Sorrow and Thorn, Superpowered. Oh, cracking my back. Sun Eater. Mother of Learning's really good. Cradle.
Mother of Learning, is that the what's the first book in that called?
I think it's actually just called Mother of Learning.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of something else.
It's by Dumagoy Kermage. Draenei by David Gemmell.
I want to read Gemmell really bad.
Oh, I love David Gemmell. City Watch is really good. Arcane Ascension's really good. Hybrid Helix is really good. First 9 books in Realm of the Elderlings is amazing. Alex Varys is really good.
I want to check that one out too.
Oh, man. I've got... What else do I have up here? I'm trying to give non-basic answers.
Yeah.
The Empire trilogy, obviously, and Rift War by Remy Feist and Jenny Wirtz and all that. It's really good. Long Price Quartet is amazing.
You're very well rounded as a. A lot of these people.
That way. I did not start out that way, but I've been at this for 4 years, so.
Yeah, that's true. The more you do it, the more you're going to spread out, I suppose.
Yeah. Dungeon Crawler Carl, awesome. Oh, what? No, that's an order. Okay, cool. Iconoclasts by Mike Shell's really good.
When you talked about that one on your channel, I put that on my list immediately. It's like, that sounds awesome.
So good. Yeah. Powder Mage is pretty decent. I don't know. I could keep on going. I've got tons.
I'm a little bit more basic than you. I think I haven't spread out quite as much yet, but
give it time.
To me, I will say Cosmere as a whole, I'm still a massive Sanderson fan, despite I definitely see the flaws. But that Sun Eater, Wheel of Time, Song of Ice and Fire, I'll still keep Harry Potter in there. So I still am kind of a the same as how I always get my pumpkin spice latte in the fall. It's basic.
You got to have one. I at least always have to have one.
Always.
One pumpkin spice latte.
Janie says you should try a new genre to destroy your brain.
Hyperclunk.
That's funny. That sounds cool. I actually am. I've been feeling drawn to like cyberpunk stuff lately for whatever reason. It just sounds like I'm just like, yeah, I want more of that.
I mean, I don't know if I've read a lot of cyberpunk.
I've read one book, but I'm just like,
was it Neuromancer?
No, it was Aaron's book, the Falling into Oblivion.
Bibliotheories.
Yeah,
that's Falling into Oblivion.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
I've got it here somewhere. Where is it?
Somewhere in the endless shelves.
Well, everything over here is unread. Everything behind me is basically read.
That's what I do too. Yeah, I have this side over here is all unread. This little shelf, and then my bigger one is done. Yeah, right.
All unread.
Give me time. Give me time.
All unread.
We'll get there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was the robot dragon.
I'll find it. It's over there.
Yeah, it's the robot dragon.
What were robot dragon? Oh yeah,
that was the Oblivion. Yeah, it was fun. That was the first one I did, and then I got Steam had a big sale, so I bought Cyberpunk 2077.
I've got that one.
I haven't played it yet.
I don't particularly like the driving mechanics.
Okay.
It gave me motion sickness, and I just found those to be clunky. But I haven't tried in like 6 months, so don't play it around young children. There's nudity.
Oh, okay. Well,
you can toggle it on and off, but
good thing I don't have any young children, man.
I didn't realize that, and I was just like, "Oh,
oops."
Let me turn that off because you're awake."
That's funny. I actually had not heard that. But yeah, I got I just need to find time to play games, man. I got Elden Ring, I got Cyberpunk, I got what else did I get? The Arkham Batman games.
Oh, those are so good.
I love those. I never played the third one. Or the last one, whatever. Knight.
Arkham Knight.
I never did
Arkham Knight's good, but it's got some of the most annoying like collection quests, like the Riddler trophies or the Riddler things.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Don't do it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, fair.
There's like 250 of them.
Wow. Yeah.
It takes forever. And I got to like 80 and I was like, you know what? Like, this is the last thing I need to do. I should just play a different game.
Yeah. I think I'm going to be more like storyline campaign stuff and then probably not do a ton of the other little, because my time's so limited for it anyway. So the Star Wars books, dude. So I grew up liking Star Wars, right? Like I grew up with the prequel movies. I love the prequel movies. Okay, people can be mad if they want to.
I love them, but I like them.
I thought the third one was spectacular, right? There's my.
I mean,
whatever,
other than like he killed younglings.
Okay, so it's not spectacular. Is maybe a little bit generous, but I loved it. Right, it was great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I grew up with those, and then obviously watched the original movies a bunch of times. Like I just liked Star Wars anyway, right?
Yep.
I remember reading a couple of the books as a kid, and then I just sort of was aware that there was this huge EU, right? Mostly because of the controversy when they decided to try to cancel their EU and restart it. But anyway,
any of the new EU books.
Yeah. So I was just sort of aware of it, and then was like, yeah, let me try this. So as I do, decided to start on book 1 and read every single one of them in order, and then quickly realized that that's not realistic. So I picked out some
good luck,
some heavy hitters. Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to do all of them. So.
I've read probably 35 to 40 of the EU, the original.
That's a lot.
I read a lot of the Young Jedi Knight books.
I've heard those are great.
I read the prequels to those. I forget what those are called. Of course, I've read the Timothy Zahn books. the original ones. I won't read the new Thrawn books.
Yeah.
I read a lot of the Yuuzhan Vong stuff. I'm just a smattering here and there. My library had them all the time, so I was always picking up random Star Wars books and reading them.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't done very many. I did like 3 or 4 of the Old Republic, just like random, like Revan and some random ones.
Oh, I've got the Darth Bane ones. I've read those.
Yeah, I just finished book 1 a couple weeks ago. It was really fun.
Yeah, really good. Really good. The Rise of Bane was really dope.
Yeah, it was fun to, because it's like I know where it's going, right? But like it was so fun to watch it happen. It was cool.
Well, Bane's the one who initiates the rule of 2.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
I have not read Richard Morgan.
No, I haven't either. That was they adapted that too, didn't they? There was a Netflix show or something.
Supposedly the season 1's really good and season 2 is utter garbage.
Cool.
So that's what I've been told.
Shout out Netflix.
You don't have Netflix?
I do. But I'm just like they like to do good season 1s and then nothing else. Either cancel it or fall apart. So
like I really ended up liking the first season of The Witcher, and then it just, I don't know, for some reason.
I like the show. Yeah. Like it's not my favorite thing ever, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I will give the new
Henry Cavill fan. I was really mad when he got fired from Superman.
Yeah.
Really mad.
Yeah, he's awesome. I know nothing about Warhammer, but I'll watch it
on Day absolutely. Him. I've actually got some Warhammer books. I've got the Caiaphas Cain, and I've got Horus Rising.
Horus is what I've heard of before, yeah.
Horus Heresy, which is Horus Rising, I think. Yeah. And I also want to read the Felix and something, which is Warhammer 40K Fantasy instead of like Space Marines. It's called, I'm going to pull up my phone.
Let's do it. So rude. How dare you?
Yeah. What can I say? Felix and no, Gore-Tex and Felix. Gore-Tex and Felix is what it's called.
There you go. Yeah, that'll be cool. But yeah, he's amazing, dude. He's so cool.
Yeah, he was a fantastic Superman. I really, really enjoyed it. But I mean, I understand with them wanting to go back to the lighter tone. Sure. There aren't a lot of super dark Superman like storylines. Mm-hmm. And so the fact that like, you know, there were those darker moments within the Zack Snyder, like I get it, but at the same time, like he was perfect. He could have done Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. I'm not like I'm familiar enough with the Superman stuff to get what you're saying. I've never read the comics or anything, but
yeah, okay, fair enough. But like you can go and watch any of like the Superman shows, and a lot of them are like a lot lighter than
for sure.
Like I grew up on Lois and Clark. I'm gonna age myself, which I love that show. I don't care what anybody says. I love that show.
Yeah. That's cool. You gotta have. I think my earliest thing was seeing like the animated shows, that everything he was in with that. I grew up watching a lot of the animated
on the like 70s Cartoon Network, like Justice League, or no, not the Justice League, because Justice League was a thing, and then there was Justice League Unlimited. Justice Friends. There we go. Justice Friends was like Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, that's right. That's vaguely familiar.
Yeah, there was like 7 different series, like just one right after the other.
Yeah.
And it was meanwhile in the League of Doom. So cheesy, and I loved it.
You gotta love it. Yeah, Tom, stunt double for Henry Cavill. That's true. He is your stunt double. That's amazing.
Let Batman be depressing and Superman should be more light. Honestly, Batman wasn't always depressing either. That didn't really come around until the 80s. Like Keaton is what really, like, when that came out is when we really started leaning into a darker Batman. Like, don't get me wrong, the Batman was still like a little darker than Superman, but if we're going into, I'm gonna get the age wrong, it's either golden or silver age, they're all pretty campy. Like at one point Superman, I'm not making this up, at one point Superman had the power to shoot mini Supermans from his hand.
Yeah. Did you have you talked about this before? I remember somebody saying this. I feel like it was either you or Mike talked about that.
It might have been either of us. I don't know. But like it was campy, but have you watched the Adam West Batman?
I've seen little clips or whatever, but that was really it.
I grew up on it. We had a
Yeah.
black and white TV, and my mom would put on TV Land, and I would like I knew what time Batman came on, and I was going to go watch Adam West Batman. So I actually grew up watching black and white Adam West Batman, which is weird because I'm a '90s kid.
Yeah, that's funny.
And I own the whole series on DVD.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I love Adam West.
Yeah, that's it was Batman the Animated Series that was like what got me. That's like what made me just interested in superheroes at all. Was like that show.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. I want to get into comics at some point. It's for whatever reason it's like X-Men and Batman are the ones that I feel super drawn to. That I just liked the cartoons or I liked the whatever growing up, right? So I just wanted to check those out.
I mean, there's I think there's 4 main ones that you can watch if you really liked the animated Batman. There's Batman, there's X-Men, there's Spider-Man, and there's Superman.
Yeah.
Those 4 like early 90s animated series were all of it. Spider-Man was brilliant.
I loved it, man. It's so good.
So yeah, like you couldn't really go wrong with early 90s animated superheroes.
Yeah. Those were great. It's getting into the reading the comics is just so intimidating. There's just so much.
I don't know.
So much.
I don't know if I have the time or the want to do that.
Yeah.
I tried doing Superior Spider-Man years ago. Yeah. Which Superior Spider-Man is essentially like Spider-Man's fighting Doc Ock and Doc Ock's dying, so he switches bodies with Spider-Man, and then Peter basically dies in Doc Ock's body.
Okay.
And then Doc Ock becomes Spider-Man. And he becomes a bit of a ruder Spider-Man, but he starts incorporating a lot more technology into the suit and stuff like that. And eventually, like, he's kind of like an evil guy hiding in a good guy's body. And he kind of gets corrupted by Peter's spirit, which kind of still resides in his body. And he starts becoming a good guy right up until Peter's spirit basically is actually a remnant of his consciousness and then is reinstated.
Whoa.
That's how Spider-Man comes back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Samurai Jack. That's a deep cut.
Samurai Jack was cool. Will's right. I know exactly which image you're talking about. I'm sure we all do. Yeah. There was good cartoons on back in the day, man. Back in Toonami days.
They're too computer generated these days. It almost feels like it's taken a little of the soul out of it. Like it just feels a little soulless when it's fully computer generated.
I'm with you. And even the stuff that's not like the stuff that was like right after, it was like for the next generation right after me, everything was just so goofy and over the top and like just zany and like all, and I'm like this isn't for me. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember Freakazoid. Freakazoid was zany, but
I remember that.
There's I also grew up on like Cow and Chicken, Dexter's Lab.
I was a huge Ed and Eddie dude. I loved Ed and Eddie. I loved it.
I loved Ed and Eddie. I don't know. The TV isn't what it used to be, and now like I watch what my like daughter watches, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Why do you like this? Go watch like actual TV. If you're gonna be glued to a screen, watch something good.
Yeah, you gotta get her on that Gundam Wing like we grew up with, right?
Gosh,
that's healthy.
Know. Yeah, that's healthy. It's super healthy. Like, is it Hiro?
I think so.
Absolute jerk.
I'm gonna. I can't remember where I'm at. I'm slowly kind of rewatching a bunch of the Gundam shows, and then we'll eventually get to stuff that I've never seen before. I can't remember how long.
Orphan Blood. I need to check out Orphan Blood.
Yeah, I hear those are. I haven't seen that one either, but I've heard that's really, really good.
Or Iron Blood, something like that. I don't know. There's like 17 different ones.
Iron Blooded Orphans, I think, is what it is.
Iron Blooded Orphans. That's what it is.
Yeah. Some of the names are getting a little too out. It's kind of like the Fate shows. Like the names are just getting so weird. But
I never know where to start with the Fate series. But do you ever watch? It's so dumb, but it's also like really good. It was 26 episodes. It's called Buso Rankin.
I don't think so, but the name sounds familiar.
I loved Buso Rankin when I was a kid, and then like D Blackman, no D Grayman. D Gray Man.
Yeah. I have that on my Crunchyroll queue, I think, but I don't think
D
I've
Gray
seen it.
Man. Is that what it is? It's D Gray Man.
That
Yeah.
sounds right.
He wears all black, which is why I get confused sometimes.
Hmm.
But that's really good. At least the first 50 episodes. There was like a 5-year gap of like I caught up on the anime, and then they're like, we're working on season 2. We're gonna get it dubbed for you, and I was like, great. And then like they didn't do it for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah. And
And by
people
that
forget
time,
about it, which is so sad.
yeah, by that time I was like, do I rewatch this or do I just dive in, or I don't know.
Dude,
I never finished it.
did you watch Blue Exorcist?
Maybe an episode or 2.
Yeah, because they did the same thing. The first season was awesome, and it took them like literally 10 years to come out with the next season. They had like they had season 2 that they put in there in the middle, but it was completely unrelated. It wasn't. I was like, what is this? But they finally are back on it, and it's incredible. But nobody's watching it because everyone forgot because it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's so sad. I'm hoping that they don't stop making it because the viewership's low, because it's like I've wanted this show for a long time. Great.
People keep trying to tell me I need to watch Demon Slayer, but I can't get past how cringy the first episode is.
It's
this horny little kid, and I'm supposed to care.
It's I'm really hit and miss on Demon Slayer, to be honest. Like the animation is gorgeous. Like it looks visually, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But then like when you actually think about the story, it's very simple. And like this latest season that they did, like nothing happened until the last episode was killer, but everything else was like, did we need this? And that's coming from the guy who, would keep everything in Stormlight 5. But I was like, I don't know. Like I am glad that I saw it.
Okay.
And I'll watch the movies that come out to end it. Like I'll definitely watch them, but I'm not going to go pay to see them in the theater. I'll wait till they are streaming.
Fair enough. I don't know. There was what was the one shonen that I'm such a dork. It was Hiroku no Go. And it was literally this dude, this kid who is, I think, a thief or something like that. He stumbles across a haunted go board.
Okay.
And the go board is like haunted by the spirit of like a 1600s like go master who was a court noble, and he was like brutally killed or something like that, and he's like tied to this go board. And then this kid becomes a go prodigy because he melds with the spirit and stuff, like, and he starts competing in like school tournaments, and then he kind of ramps up to the professional level. It was fantastic. Nobody ever talks about Haruka no Go.
Yeah, I'm like, the name sounds kind of familiar, but like that feel like that one kind of missed me too.
It's an old Shonen Jump. Like I used to have a Shonen Jump monthly subscription.
Nice. I didn't have a subscription, but I used to get them. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a subscription. I begged my mother, and I had a subscription for like 3 years.
That's awesome.
So that's how I learned about like Saint Seiya.
Yeah.
Which the manga is way better than any anime or live.
Really, I should read the manga. I like the anime, so I should read the manga.
Yeah, the anime, for some reason I find it cringy. Just because,
yeah, I mean it's from like the 80s, right?
Yeah, and so like I find the visual media less cringy than the animation.
Sure.
And then what's the other one I was going to talk about? Haruka no Go. I don't know. I used to. There was something called like Muscle Man. Muscle Man was weird.
I don't know.
It's hold on. I've got to look up what it's called because it's something I recently researched it, and because I was trying to find it because they came out with a sequel to it, and I was going to go back and I was going to watch all this stuff. No, Wikipedia, you're not going to give me what I need. Muscle Man.
Tom agrees. Not a fan of the ending.
Ultimate Muscle. It was called Ultimate Muscle.
Ultimate Muscle.
Ultimate Muscle. It is hilarious.
Interesting. Okay.
It's a wrestling bodybuilder type of like
fun
space adventure, wrestling aliens type of manga. It was really really good. I'm just going full nerd on old mangas and animes now.
Oh, I love it, dude. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Hunter x Hunter, incredible.
Which the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga, way different.
Way different.
Way different. Much darker.
Yeah.
Much
Awesome.
darker.
Yeah, I remember reading through probably like the first half or something like that back in the day with the Shonen Jump stuff, and I want to go back and read the whole manga. I think that'd be awesome.
The manga is a completely different story.
Yeah.
Like they just took the premise and then that's it. Like for the at least the American anime that
Mhm.
we got as kids, night and day different.
For the entire story, or just like early? Because I know like early in the manga, it's very very different, and then they
I
do
don't
still go to
remember.
Duelist Kingdom and stuff, right?
I don't remember honestly.
Hmm.
Because
Well, maybe.
at one point I thought Yugi tried to like Yu-Gi-Oh tried to kill Kaiba or something like that. Like
Oh, early in the manga, he was doing all kinds of. Yeah, he was
yeah, like
very.
it was brutal.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. That one manga is gonna bug me that I can't remember what I was about to talk about.
City Hunter. No, I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah, no, I used to be. I mean, like my sister was huge into Clamp, so like Cardcaptor Sakura.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah,
there was XX Holic, which is not what it sounds like. Black Butler.
I love Black Butler.
Black Butler. There was Subasha Chronicles. Subasha Chronicles, which was just it was Clamp's like Cosmere. So what Clamp did is they would have like a crossover thing where like they brought in multiple characters from different mangas. They may have them do completely different roles, but you would look at them and go, "I know who you are." And it
Yeah,
was like this universe jumping manga. It was really really cool.
that's awesome.
And there is an anime for it, but I don't know if it was ever like fully dubbed.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Pro-
very very cool.
Promise Neverland. I hear the manga did not do this. Season 2 of Promise Neverland was an immense disappointment.
I heard like the manga was is that the one that like so there's one that like the first season's supposed to be really really good, but then like the manga that it's adapted off of is supposed to be like hypersexualized of
Oh,
like
I don't. I would be surprised if that's this one,
I
but
don't know, it might not be Promised Neverland.
Promise Neverland is kids, so I would hope that that's not the case. Although you never really know with Japan sometimes.
You never really know. I could be thinking of something completely different, but yeah, I don't know. I used to be a huge anime and manga guy. Like
Yeah.
it was my thing. When I
Mhm.
wasn't reading, I was doing manga.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've never been a huge like some Shonen Jump stuff growing up, and then like I read Berserk a couple years ago because I like the anime, and then
People keep telling me not to continue.
I think it's how much have you done?
I got to the start of the Golden Arc.
So you haven't even done the Golden Age.
Yeah, people were just like, if you don't want to be destroyed, stop there.
Oh,
And
be
I was
destroyed, man.
just be destroyed.
You're destroyed in the best way, right? Like, and having read Sun Eater, you'll find some really cool things.
Okay. All right. Well, like that's actually one of my best performing shorts is my like should I start Berserk now? And since then it's been 2 years. I don't know why YouTube just now started pushing this.
That's funny.
It's been 2 years. I've already read 3 volumes.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those short little pieces of content where I'd be like, "Hey, should I start this?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's at 22,000 views
Wow.
at this point,
Good
and
for
I'm
you.
just like people. I get daily comments of like, "Nah, don't start it," or "Yeah, start it," or "You should probably stop it." It's don't read the first page. The most common comment is don't read the first page. I'm like, it's well past too late for that.
I don't. Why would anyone? I don't understand. Like Golden
It,
Age is it's pretty like one of the best arcs of manga ever.
yeah,
Like you know. But whatever. I don't know. But I mean, I personally, a lot of people will say that that's the best of Berserk. I loved everything they did, even after.
really.
I mean, that's a quarter
I
of the way through the story, you know.
I got to the who's the captain of the company? I forget his name. The one who wants
Griffith.
to, yeah, Griffith. I got to the point where Griffith is starting to be like a little shady.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so I'm either in the middle or at the start of the Golden Arc.
Yeah, that sounds right. Have you had it spoiled for you?
No. I've gotten to the point where his name is escaping me. Main character's name.
Guts.
Guts has hooked up with the one person in his company.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've hooked up, and that's kind of right where I stopped.
I would love for you to read Berserk. Just saying, is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite stories, regardless of literally anything. It's just
So I'm, of the deluxe editions, I got through the first 3, I think.
Nice.
So I think the golden arc comes right after that.
That sounds right. I have all the little individual ones. I don't have the nice. I'd like to get the deluxe ones at some point, but
they're expensive.
They are.
I had them, and then like I needed space, and I was like, I'll just go to the library, and I just haven't gone back to the library to like check them out.
Yeah,
I need to go to the library. I guess this is me telling myself I really need to go to the library.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I actually have a bunch of work I still need to do today, so maybe you go to the library and I'll go see if I can get my work done before my girlfriend gets home from work and I gotta eat dinner and go to sleep. So this has been so much fun, dude. I'm really glad we got to make this happen. I feel like I could talk to you all day about all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it a ton. And also I want to say, I say that to everybody, obviously, right? But like for you specifically, you gave me a shout out right when I started the channel. It helped me a ton. It gave me more than that. Like it gave me a lot of confidence that I could actually do this thing and like be part of the community. So thank you forever for that, dude. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So much.
You're great at this. So yeah, keep it up.
I don't know. Thank you. Yeah, man. Thank you to the chat. Has been a pop-in chat today.
I shouted it out on my channel and I pinged my Discord. So hopefully that helped a little.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. There you go. This is the last comment that you need.
Okay.
Here you go.
Fair enough.
There's your New Year's resolution.
Oh,
at least the golden age.
Fair enough.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. Appreciate it a ton. And that's all I got. I don't know. Thanks again, dude. And we'll do another one of these. I think I got another stream on Wednesday. That'll be fun. So we're gonna get back to. I slowed down around the holidays because scheduling is hard, but we'll get back to it. It's fun. Cool. All right. See you, everybody.